Hello again. I'm Meredith McCarthy. I'd love to be your guide here. We're going to be talking about the illusionary nature of ego. Ego is a funny idea, and ego often can be a cause of much fear. So if you're interested in exploring that today, buckle up. Here we go. Right. You might think about ego as being a sense of identity, but it's not really as solid as your actual identity of who you are. Quite often it creates a construct of I must be this, I must do that, because it runs a fear program of not being accepted or not being good enough or doing the right thing, that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of beliefs that are attached to the ego that cause us to create or make certain decisions in our lives. So the egocentric journey can be very fear-based, and this is really important that we explore what part our ego is playing in some of the decisions that we make in our journey in our lives. Now, the ego is not there for no reason. I think it's really important. If we weren't meant to have ego, we wouldn't have one. So there is a purpose there. I think it serves us to learn about the illusion of mind. That sometimes when we're thinking about the ego is a construct of who we think we are and the things we think we should do to be good enough, right? And quite often they can be really fictional, those ideas. They're not always as solid as we might present them to be. So the ego might go, oh, I can't possibly share what I think at this meeting. They're going to think I'm stupid, because probably it's really obvious to them, but I better not say anything. Ego can really cause a person to fall short of participating in things that they have every right to participate in. So in some respects, the ego can get in the way. It can also do the opposite. It can, if someone's very egocentric, they might think that they're the best person in the room. So it can have this illusionary aspect where the ego is being inflated somehow. And they come in there and they think they're better than everyone else. Okay, but quite often that can start from a fear place too, where they don't really want to feel like they're not better than everyone else. So for them to build that belief, I'm better than everyone else, it may well be a protection program. And it could cause them to be quite a dictator in their life, where other people, feel fearful of not following their direction. And they think, oh, people love me. So there might be quite a distortion on what's really going on for the people around them in their world. A lot of people, though, suffer when they're coming in to seek help with hypnotherapy, is they're suffering from a low self-esteem. So their ego state is very delicate. Okay, they're easily bruised. And they worry, they overthink about all sorts of things. What will people think? What if I wasn't good enough? What if I failed? And it's all about what others might think of them. And also, they're their own worst critic. So the ego can be a rather interesting thing to work with. And I guess in my sessions with people, I get people to question sometimes some of the beliefs that they have about how others are experiencing them, and also about how they're experiencing others in their world, because the ego can distort things. Okay, it can produce fear or inflation of belief in some respects, which is out of kilter with reality. Ego is a funny old thing, because I think we can become aware of it, but we don't need to let it trip us over. we can work with it. But again, it's important to understand where ego comes in. Now, there's nothing wrong with wanting to achieve something or win something. There's nothing wrong with that. And it takes a certain amount of dedication and belief to be able to achieve some of those things. However, not to the cost of everyone else around us. So sometimes we need to look at how we're balancing things, how we're serving our community, how we're connecting, what's really motivating us. Is it because if I win, I prove that I'm good enough in some respects? So if you were raised in a family where winning was the only time you got acknowledged or felt successful, then of course you might set up an ego state that propels you towards that direction all the time. So you're always competing for the next win. But it can be extremely bruising when you don't get that win. The art of happiness suggests that we don't need to have the win to be able to feel good about ourselves, that we deserve to feel good regardless of what we've achieved or what we haven't achieved, that actually that feeling of being enough, I am enough, just the way I am, is something that we could foster. And so that's where the ego doesn't get the limelight all the time, that we can come back to base and we can start to love ourselves by reinforcing statements, I am good enough. I am good enough. And this is something that I do work a lot with my clients on, is that feeling of being good enough. So if someone's got an inflated ego, sometimes they are the A-type personality and they go, 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 but they reach burnout. They might be in a job which is just impossible to get ahead. And so what that does is it really creates this huge stressor that somehow, because they haven't got all their targets, they're a failure. And it's extremely destructive. So I do invite my clients really think about challenging their ego state. You know, what are the beliefs that I've been playing in there as fact that could be quite fictional? What are some empowering things that I can start to reinforce within myself, like just simply the statement, I am enough. I am enough. So with that in mind, have a think about it. If you've got any comments, let me know. If you like this sort of thing and you haven't subscribed, push subscribe, push like. I'd really appreciate having you along on this journey. If you're interested in training to become a clinical hypnotherapist, please check out the website nzach.ac.nz, and I'd love to be your guide. In our next talk time, we're going to discover the creative power of thought and consciousness itself. So, if you're interested in finding out more about that, tune in to next week, and I'll be talking about that. We've already discussed a number of things in our other talk times in this series, so I hope you've enjoyed the journey. If you've missed those, please go and check them out. And I'll join you next week, same time, same place. Bye for now.